What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Collegiate Football Legion, where we talk everything college football, especially HBCU football. And today we have more news regarding the Arizona State investigation scandal by the NCAA for alleged recruiting violations. It's getting really messy, okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. We have a little bit more news regarding Herm Edwards and what in the role he played in this scandal, as well as Keyshawn Johnson coming to defense of Herm Edwards for a reason that I will explain now. We got the quotes and everything. Now let's talk about Herm Edwards first. Not a lot of new information coming out, but just more of what he did during the whole scandal when it was going on. So we all know the alleged thing that he did was had recruits come to the school, take unofficial visits or official visits, however you want to count it, during the dead period, where the NCAA did not allow any college recruit to visit any college campus because of the rise in COVID. But as we all know, as college football programs break the rules all the time. Unfortunately, Arizona State was the one to get caught. And I'm not even going to say unfortunately, honestly, because they were so blatant about it. They didn't care to hide it as well as they could have. So I really don't feel bad for them. But yeah, here's what Herm did. It's now coming to light that he also covered some prospects' transportation and lodging during these visits. For those of you who don't know, the NCAA's rules are a prospect, the prospect's parents has to pay for his room, his board, his food, everything on a visit. His parents or guardian has to be the one to pay for that. The school cannot contribute to that whatsoever. Okay? And it's being reported that that process of him paying for those recruits was only carried out through a third party, was mostly carried out through a third party, and this was only done with mostly elite prospects. Okay, so he didn't even care about the 3 stars or the 2 stars. No, if you were a 4 or 5 star guy, if you were ranked highly, you would get that privilege amongst others who, even though all of y'all were doing this legally, you were still selecting who you wanted to pay for and who not. That's I. All right, now let's talk about Keyshawn Johnson. Those of y'all who know Keyshawn Johnson knows he's very outspoken and he doesn't hold back his thoughts on what he has to say. All right. So while on his show this past Thursday on ESPN, he was discussing Arizona State's recent recruiting violations, alleged recruiting violations, and he gave his opinion on who the whistleblower is. Someone he knows, he used to be a teammate with, okay, by the name of Kevin Moe. For those of y'all who don't know Kevin Moe, okay, Kevin Moe was a former offensive analyst for Arizona State. He also a Hall of Fame offensive lineman. He played for the Titans and he played for the Jets throughout his career, even playing for Coach Herm Edwards while on the Jets. So he's pretty familiar with them. Okay, here is a quote from Keyshawn. According to him, he says, "You've got a lot of disgruntled people that were part of Coach Graham's universe. For those of you who don't know who Coach Graham is, he's talking about Todd Graham, the previous head coach of Arizona State before Herm got there. He also said, so you've got internal issues going on. Now all of a sudden, Antonio Pierce gets kicked up as the defensive coordinator. He gets more power to help turn the ASU program around. Okay? And then he also said, again, this is everything he said, word from word. Yeah, Herm doesn't hire him, and he played for Herm. So he becomes a whistleblower type guy. Okay? Now here's where it gets a little passionate. Okay? He goes on to say, that's kind of like saying, oh well, they're kind of doing this and they're kind of doing that. It's not improper benefits. The thing that they may have violated is the rules of the NCAA by bringing guys in or communicating with players and family during COVID. So it's a little bit different than the stories that have been probably trying to make it sound like. He also went on to say, you've got disgruntled employees because Herm Edwards and Ray Anderson are empowering people that look like them. And some people are getting mad at that. And let's be honest, let's be 100% real, this is not a joke. Those were his words. He's saying that people like Kevin are getting upset because he's empowering people who look like them. Y'all pretty sure y'all know what he's talking about. Black. Um, and that people are getting upset by that, so they're finding any and every reason to whistleblow or come after him. Because again, every college, and every university does this. Everybody breaks the NCAA rules, but these guys got caught. Okay, even though now, the more what I'm about to tell you, kind of makes you think maybe Kevin did do it. Okay, earlier that week, Moe tweeted out, and this is a direct quote: "For all that is secret will eventually be brought to the open, and everything that is concealed will be brought to the light and made known to all." That's a Bible quote. But the timing of that tweet, very, 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 very suspicious, okay? Not only that, but after this whole thing came out, he deleted all his previous tweets before June 2nd. He deleted that tweet and all the rest of them. So I mean, come on, man. If you don't have nothing to hide, you shouldn't have deleted it. I After that, I kind of do think he has something to do with it. I mean, you get fired from the Colts, and now you wanted the job and you didn't get it. I mean, it's kind of petty for you to be a grown man and feel like you would have to retaliate in that way because you're not just getting back at Herm, you're messing with kids' futures. That's the sad thing about all of this. This impacts the kids on that team heavily because the NCAA is going to come down hard on Arizona State, and when they do, scholarships are going to be taken away. Hopefully, they don't get a bowl ban, but if they do, that diminishes kids' chances of getting a look for the NFL. It diminishes their college experience as a football player. But of course, he didn't care about that, allegedly. All he wanted to do was get back. He wanted payback. And if he did do this, I hope he's satisfied because when the NCAA comes down on him, it is going to be hard because from the looks of it, this is not even the tip of the iceberg for what went on during the dead period. Okay. Now, it is important to mention, and here's why I think he did it. Moe was up for the offensive line job, okay? Because they were trying to replace the the current at the time offensive line coach who was retiring. But instead, they offered the job to Clayton Adams, who was the assistant O-line coach with the Indianapolis Colts. And Clayton Adams accepted the job initially, but then the Colts came back. They gave him a more lucrative offer, and he ended up backing out from that deal from Herm Edwards in Arizona State and staying with the Colts. So that means he was up for the job again. And I'm pretty sure he thought he was going to get it that time. You played for Herm Edwards. You probably got the first time being passed up on, but surely you would think to yourself, if I'm Kevin, I'm a Hall of Famer. I know he's going to pick me now, right? Wrong. Instead, they offered the job to Mike Cavanaugh, who coached at the same position in Syracuse. He had plenty of motivation to whistleblow. He had plenty of motivation to switch after that. You got passed up twice. I imagine it's a little bit of embarrassment. I imagine your pride was hurt a little bit, and you just want to get back at him because you felt like you knew the program more than any other candidate, and you were passed up twice. Yeah, me personally, I do think he felt a certain way. And it's funny that Keyshawn comes out with this now and comes in defense of Herm. Um, Even though he didn't really wait that long to get this information out, I wonder what did he wait for? Maybe he waited to do it on his own show instead of doing it on one of the shows that he's a co-host on. I get that. I understand that. So maybe that's what it is. But I want to know what y'all think. When he made that comment about Herm trying to empower people who look like us, And that's part of the reason why whistleblowers like Kevin allegedly got upset. Do you think that's true? Do you think it's BS? Do you think Kevin even did it according to what the information I just gave you? Because he's looking real suspicious right now, especially with the tweet. The tweet was the telltale sign for me. You can't even convince me otherwise anymore, but we'll see how things play out. Because again, it's still early on in the process. And overall, just how do you feel about Herm paying for these players, paying for certain players? I probably wouldn't even have had a problem if he paid for every player that he invited to take a visit. But you only did that for certain blue chip recruits. That's shady in itself. That's shady in itself. If you're gonna go all the way with this, man, have some type of honor. Don't pay for the highly ranked guys, and then the guys who aren't as highly ranked, you say no, you gotta have to pay your own way. You can come, we'll show you everything, but you have to pay your own way. That's not cool, in my opinion. But guys, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching so much, man. Collegiate Football Legion again. I'm out. Let me know what you think down below. Peace.